Grand Challenges Nigeria GCNG project is an exciting initiative that's tackling some of Nigeria's most pressing health and development challenges. Launched in partnership with the federal government of Nigeria, this project is all about driving innovative solutions to make real impact.
And the project brings together government, non-profit, development and private sector partners to support local innovations and researchers. What are the future prospects of the game-changing initiative? Well, we are being joined by guests in the studio to talk more on the project. Let me first introduce Professor Salisu Abubakar, who is President, Nutrition Society of Nigeria. It's a pleasure to welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigeria.
I've also been joined by Professor Falake Samuel, Program Director and Technical Lead, Grand Challenges Nigeria. Thank you for coming on the program.
Good morning. Also joining us for the conversation is Professor Lateef Sani, Executive Director and CEO, Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute. Many thanks for joining us, Prof.
Thank you very much.
All right, Prof, let me begin with you. Talk us through the aims, the objectives. What's the initiative all about?
All right, thank you very much. The Grand Challenges Nigeria project is birthed out of joining the League of Grand Challenges around the world, which have been existing in different countries, mainly supported to address challenges in the various countries. So Nigeria was able to now get the Grand Challenges for Nigeria, which is coming through the Nutrition Society of Nigeria, but it's meant to be for Nigeria. And the main thing is, like you highlighted in your brief, is to see how we can use local solutions to our local problems. So it's about identifying the challenges for health and development in the country, and also getting Nigerians to find innovative ways of addressing those challenges. So that's all about. And what it means is we are going to get individuals from different sectors, academia, government, non-governmental, like you mentioned, to come up with proposals for identified challenges that they have initiatives that are innovative that will be able to address those challenges. So funds will be provided for those individuals so that they take some researches that will now come up with solutions of some of these challenges.
All right, challenges. We want to know the specific health and development challenges this project is addressing. Professor Falake, could you help us with that?
Thank you very much. The request for proposals that we have just rolled out yesterday, announced by His Excellency Senator Kashim Shettima, is about advancing innovative solutions for maternal and child health in Nigeria. The statistics that we have for the health of mothers and children are dire. Nigeria is one of the countries where it is very difficult to be a mother and to survive, to carry a pregnancy to term and to give birth safely. It's also a country where it's difficult to grow up and achieve your full potential as a child. Stunting, wasting and underweight, these are all indicators of malnutrition in children that is stunting their cognitive ability and their potential to become productive adults in the future. And we have millions of children who are affected by this. So these are the health challenges that this particular request for proposal seeks to look at. But we are not looking at ordinary research questions this time around. We are looking at visionary directives. We are looking at initiatives and innovations that can advance health in a grand way. Hence the word grand challenges. It's finding solutions to problems that are affecting so many people on a grand scale. So these are the points that we're looking at now.
How will the project impact the lives of Nigerians, particularly in rural communities and underserved population?
Very good question. The call for proposals ensures that the ideas that will be accepted for funding are ideas that look at sweeping problems and which provide solutions that are scalable. So the grant for now will entertain ideas that can be tested. So we call it a seed grant. It's going to just test on a small scale, but it must demonstrate significant potential for scalability. An idea which, after testing, can affect millions if marketed, and I use the word marketing now, not just in the commercial sense, but in the sense that there can
publicity?
Publicity can be taken up by the government. It can be rolled out in the 774 local governments of Nigeria to affect millions, whether rural or urban.
All right, many thanks, Professor Falake Samuel. Let's get back to Professor Salisu Abubakar now. Listening to Professor Falake Samuel talk about improving maternal and child health. Of course, that gives me joy. But you want to ask, when you come up with these solutions, and then she's talking about getting the government to take it up and all of that, how do you want to get the subnationals, to actively take up some of these solutions? Because we know that most of the people who are impacted by some of these challenges, like my colleague said, are in the rural areas, and they are being controlled or managed by the subnationals. So how do you intend to bring them into this, not just the federal government?
All right, thank you very much. I think when we are talking of solution to problems in Nigeria, we always are more emphasizing on top-to-bottom approach now. One example is the recent program that the Vice President wanted to initiate by N774. So coming from the Vice President, the Chairman of National Council on Nutrition. So I'm just taking that perspective as an example. So which means that it's now looking at it from the angle of the local governments, so coming up, not the usual way that we do things. Now, Grand Challenge is trying to say innovative ways. If before we take it from top to bottom, now we want to see how best we can use bottom-top approach. And the engagement will be at various levels. And this solution that we are talking about, we don't have them within ourselves. We are expecting Nigerians to come up with them. They're only guided by the call for the proposal. And part of those things is you have to now integrate those aspects of showing how best it can impact at that level. So whoever is applying them for this grand challenge will have to show serious indication of how that is going to impact that rural level and also across board. Now if you're talking about maternal and child health, of course, like you have mentioned, most of the people that are affected are at that level. So I'm believing that whoever is bringing any innovative solution, we have to now figure out how best can those people be impacted. Otherwise, it will not scale through the process of getting you selected for the challenge.
All right. Professor Lateef Sani, let's get to you now. You're the Executive Director of Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute. What is the timeline for this program, really? Is it open-ended? What are your specific targets and goals within it? Tell us the timeline. And then can you also tell us what are the long-term goals?
All right, thank you very much. I think number one, this call is on short, medium term. So we're looking at 12 months, maximum 16 months for any of the project implementations and impact. And if we do that, at the end of the day, there will be another call within the cohort of those that have been selected. Some will also now be selected for scaling that will take us to the next 3 years. So that's the way the project is designed.
When you say call, are you looking at academics coming up, or is it just anybody on the street that can participate?
It's going to be everybody. This activity now goes beyond the academia. We are discussing, and I said it, that this is a silent revolution. It's a game changer. Unlike before, indigenous knowledge are very important and critical, and we've not been giving them enough respect. We knew when we were young in those days, if you recall, that we have trees in our streets. Especially me that I live in Ibadan. As you wake up, your child wake up, there is a tree outside that they will plug and boil water, and they will bath with you, and they will give you to drink. And that's Dongoyaro tree. All right? When we want to eat bread in those days, we recall that there is a plant that we normally say we want to go and get butter. We get that, slice it, and put it on our bread. Do you know what we call butter in those days? Before Nigeria started coming to this country, and we messed everything up. Avocado. So we are going back to the grassroots. This robo is another snack that if you produce it for 6 months, it will, and it's highly nutritious. The pregnant mother, if you have access to that kind of a thing, will be very happy. In Kano, there is a product that we call kunuzaki, that you get millet, sorghum, combine them together. We have indigenous knowledge that are not being taken to the forefront. Who said the media group cannot respond to the challenge? It's a challenge program. It's global. The only thing now is that you cannot submit that proposal by yourself alone.
So now that you've talked about being able to survey alone, what's the potential for international collaboration? Or you want to now go this alone?
No, this is purely, in fact, it's a global challenge program. We have more than 20 countries already running it in different, India, Pakistan, Malaysia.
Localized in each country?
Localized in their countries, but being supervised by global office. Okay. So it's a North-South collaborative partnership system. At the same time, South-South collaborative partnership system. We say you cannot draw your idea from Kano and implement it in Bayelsa. You can. And we say I cannot tap my idea from India or Fiji Island, the Pacific, to combine. So the point is that if you are writing a core, and I want to, the media is very important in this kind of a core. You want to go to Brass now in Bayelsa, in that you cross the water to the river, to the village, and look at what do they need there. So you need people, logistics, you need the media, you need the nutritionist, you need the food safety expert. And you now need the policy makers. Everybody will have to be, that's why we call it collaborative research program. Not inside it, you will train whoever want to get master PhD. That one is sideways. The lead one is you must start from the needs, the grassroots. What do they need? It is from that grassroots that we now begin to
get solutions. All right. Many thanks, Professor Latif Sani. Listening to you talk about, leaves, trees, and all that parents used to use, and where we are today, having to look for processed stuff for everything. You want to look at how professionals will accept some of these researches, because when you talk to professionals, especially in the health sector, they tell you that some of the indigenous products that we have may not really be used because dosage, they give a lot of reasons why they're not acceptable in medical practice. How do you intend to surmount that particular challenge and make whatever products or research you come out with acceptable by all?
Yeah, so science is universal. So I think one of the key points that Professor Latif Sani is making is this particular call should be multidisciplinary. Should be something that you can pick solutions from the collaboration of different sectors, media, nutrition, health, agriculture, to solve those problems that are challenging us. And not just that, these problems, these solutions must be homegrown, must be locally contextualized. We should stop importing solutions. We should make our solutions grounded here in Nigeria, because it will be more acceptable, it will be more sustainable, it will be more affordable. And since the scientific process is what we are looking at in this grant, we can be rest assured that whatever comes out of it can be tested, can be proven, the dosages, whatever, can also be scientifically verified. So it's not just a program that will bring about ideas that are not testable. They will be testable, they'll be tested, and not just that, they must be scalable. That is very important, because right now, transformative solutions go beyond just small classroom projects. They go right now into issues that think deeper inside the box and out of the box at the same time. And that is the challenge that we are looking at now. Not business as usual. Prof said it's a revolution. And that, I believe, it is a revolution.
All right. Professor Samuel, thank you very much. Let me ask Professor Bakar, how does the project plan to sustain its efforts and impact beyond this initial funding, timeline?
Thank you very much. For everything that we do, the sustainability is very, very important. And for this project, we already have built in that sustainability plan, in the sense that this word of collaboration that has been coming up today is very important to it. You see, private sector is engaged, the government is engaged, the other organizations that are local, subnational are engaged. So, for example, in this case, we already have, that's why we are with Prof. Sani. He's a partner to this project from his organization of Stock Product Research Institute. We already have Aliko Dangote Foundation sign up to this. We already have Nigerian Institute of Medical Research sign up into it. The most important is the government anchorage. So that's why the Vice President himself is the one launching this project. So the government's already taken ownership of the project, because the government understands it's important. Nutrition Society is like not the project, but the actual person who owns it is the government. So the government has already identified that and taken the ownership. We should now make it more sustainable.
Has it been owned by state governments too, or it's just the federal government?
For now, we have the Office of the Vice President as part of the ANCO, and we also have Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology. And they already have committed some budget lines for this project, because at the end of the 4 years, like the Prof mentioned, we want to see now what next after 4 years. So government now putting in some money, and the partners that are engaged in the collaboration also having some money to keep it sustained. So even at the end of this funding, we are hoping that the government budgeting for it, the different partners that are on it, will continue to provide support for the project.
What are the long-term goals? I'm sorry, Henry. What are the long-term goals of this project?
It's been mentioned several times. The goal is to see that we have contributed to development of Nigeria in different perspectives. Now, this call is targeting maternal, newborn, and child health. So by the end of this, we're expecting to see changes in the indices for maternal and child health. We already have sustainable development goals. For example, this one is coming around 2030. So whatever you're doing, you're trying to address, the goal of the country in terms of development, which is the project aligning with. So after this, the next goal will now target another challenge, which will now also be targeted based on how much of the indices that we have that we need to reduce based on the country's plan. So we always try to align with what the country is trying to achieve in terms of development in the country.
All right, Professor Sani, I'd like you to tell us, you said everyone can participate in this program. So just give us the procedure. So someone is watching you at this time and is interested, how can the person be a part of it?
Well, thank you very much. When I entered this place, I saw something which looks indigenous, but we were not taking care of it before. Thank God for the COVID-19. My senior colleague they gave him tea, and he came out with his own secret. And the secret that he did was he was squeezing something onto the tea. What was he squeezing? That's lemon. That lemon, people do not know that it's a functional food. If you drink lemon water, lemon tea, all this cancer, all these things, they will be reduced. So now the concept is we've made the core. If you look at the core, and remember what we took to survive during COVID-19, ginger, turmeric, cinnamon, garlic, all these things. I said, wait a minute. In our village in those days, my grandmother used to compound some of these things together. Just like his Royal Highness Ooni of Ife said at the stage, and challenged us that we should come to it and have solutions. So if he's interested in coming out with a challenge program using our indigenous plants, you get it now, Eferi, Saint Leaf, and all those things. He look at his colleague or whoever at the university, NAFDAC, elsewhere, come together, brainstorm together, have the idea and the concept, then you respond to us that we have this concept. Can we be allowed to be pitched along with other competitors? Then we are going to have a kind of project concept ideation pitching, where every one of us will see it glaringly, and we look at it and begin to rank it and look at it. If we pick this one, where is it going to benefit? It's going to benefit Northeast, Northwest, Southwest, North Central. Wow, take it down. If we take it to the community, who will use it? These people will use it. You don't need too much education to use these things. Just boil water, put it down, and drink it before you go. Mark. So those are the way we are going to iterate those criteria to be sure that by the time we pick the best 10, anybody, anywhere in the globe can say you have done your best. As we are doing that normally, there's going to be scientific analysis of everything, like we have said, measurable quantity, like we have said, everything will be done, documented. And immediately you do that, the next thing will now be the pilot stage. It is when you get to the pilot stage that you know that we can scale it. If you say it's 1 gram, can we scale it to 1 kilogram later? That's the meaning of scaling that we're talking about. And once we are sure of this, we now privatize or commercialize and release it. At that level, once the private sector buys it, don't forget, the private sector will be with us in the ideation stage. Everybody, like I said, that is important, we have to be there. And the president of the Nutrition Society has said it, we do not have the 10 solutions as we are talking. It has to be coordinated by all of us. And I still repeat, indigenous knowledge in this country, if we recall back to it, our longevity will be increased beyond 57. We'll move to 80, 85, just like the way Abuja is rolling around.
All right, thank you. Professor Falake, you know, listening to the 3 professors in the room, you know, talk about this, it's very exciting. And then you want to tell us, how will this, you know, in long term affect the health sector? Because at the moment there are so many challenges. Pricing, medicines are not affordable. Access, you know, for so many people in rural areas, it's not there. And then the fact that most people are coming down with all kinds of ailments, the present economic challenges, people can no longer feed well and, you know, do the basics, you know, just to stay healthy. So how did this change the narrative in the health sector?
The causes of these problems that you have iterated, there are different levels. There are immediate causes, there are underlying causes, there are basic causes. And the solutions to this will take time, no doubt. But we are not saying there are not initial initiatives. There are current ones that are ongoing, that are working. But one of the long-term goals of this project is to sweep the corners of the room. What already exists in terms of research? Can we bring them together and actually scale them? And how are we doing that? This project actually brings together so many innovators. We want to start up an ecosystem of innovators and of research that has impact at scale. So by the time we do all of that, we will have a lot of effects and impact on the health sector in the coming years. Like I said, it's a slow process, but what we need is incremental change, transformative change, consistently and directed by national priorities and national homegrown solutions. So the long term is reducing the poor indices in maternal and child health, bringing together an ecosystem of innovators, sweeping our room and knowing what exactly exists that we are not using, that we can use. So these are the long-term issues in this project.
All right. Let me stay with you, Professor Samuel. Policy can make or mar the project. How well are you engaging with policymakers, of course, to advocate favorable policy making and regulation to ensure that the project can at least outlive this initial timeline?
Yeah, that's a very important question. So one of the cardinal points of this project is government anchorage. Mm-hmm. So Nutrition Society of Nigeria has kind of birthed it, but having birthed it has handed over to the government. The program was launched yesterday by His Excellency, the Vice President.
Government has 4 years per time.
Yes. So it is institutionalized because there is an anchoring ministry, the Federal Ministry of Innovation. We mark that word, science and technology. And if there is one word to describe our program, it is innovation. So if it is domiciled in that ministry that has the mandate for innovation, and a budget line has already been created in that ministry to ensure yearly continuity of this program, definitely.
But you see, another government can come and this Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology can be changed to something different.
But the mandate will not change. The mandate will not change.
The not innovation.
Yes. Innovation. That's new.
The good news is that we are from universities. We are also at the national agencies in this country. And we are also professional bodies. When we say Nutrition Society of Nigeria, it's not just Nutrition Society of Nigeria. We have the Nigerian Academy of Science, we have Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Tech. Every one of us are part of this drive. And the private sectors are there. That is my own game change, the private sectors. By the time we work very well to get 2, 3, 4 products in the hands of the private sectors, it's going to take over this initiative at the end of the day.
All of you academics.
Yeah.
To what extent, because the Ministry of Education is more, has been there and will always be there. It's more, why didn't you anchor, around the Ministry of Education, for instance?
Now, it has its own different dimension. Because today, by Nigerian Charter, the ministry that is anchoring innovation is best suited. No. If I want to talk of pedagogical method, teaching method, demonstration methods, then I will anchor it in Ministry of Education. But not on innovation.
Okay, many thanks. Professor Salisu Abubakar, the program has been launched, you said yesterday, so 24 hours and counting. What should we expect to see in the next few months?
Well, in the next few months, that's a very good question. I think we've already started counting. In the just past less than 24 hours, already have started seeing people applying for this challenge. And we already have seen people come in to ask so many questions about how are they going to go about it. So in the next few months, from now to 2-3 months, we are expected to close the call for proposals. So our expectation is within that time, we should be able to get as many applications for these grant challenges as possible. And we will begin to now see how our team of reviewers will begin to work on trying to see, like Prof mentioned, what are the best 10 that we can take to start with.
Is there a website or something? How are these called?
Yes. We have a website for the Grant Challenges Nigeria, and there's all the information for the challenge is posted there. We also have all the media handles that people can also lay hands on, and all the information that is required, including if one wants to call for conversation on phone or email. So we have all the information that people can
Tell us the website.
I think I'll hand to Folake to to do that.
Type Grand Challenges Nigeria in Google, it's optimized for finding. Yeah.
Or you say www.grandchallengesnigeria.com.
Okay.
I don't know who's best suited to responding to this. What is the place of the media? All of you have mentioned the media at one time or the other. So what's my place, for instance, as a media practitioner, if I want to find the place?
Very, very good question. For most of the challenges that we have, whether grand or whatever challenge you call it, in anywhere in the world, including Nigeria, the media is key to addressing that challenge. Now, if I take nutrition as an example now, we have what we call social and behavioral change communications. Sometimes it's not like the food that we don't have. It's not the resources that we don't have. We can have abundance of food, people scared, but you don't know how to use it. So enlightenment is very, very important. And how do we do that? It's through the media. Different media handles the different strategies that we can get from the media. So, for example, on this challenge, I will expect people from the media to get themselves organized to say this is the new innovative way of getting information across, or reminding whether it's mother or husband or child in terms of addressing maternal and child health issues. So without that, we'll be doing a lot of things that will not be able to get to that grassroots. Is it identifying the best way to get to the mother at that rural village? Is there a radio that she's listening to? Is there a way that we have to use phone? Is it that we are targeting the adolescent? How can we use media to get them engaged? So there's a lot that media can do, and it's necessary. I don't think that there is a way to solve any problem without it.
Professor Folake Samuel, we're about to round up this conversation, but let us know, those who are pitching ideas, who are going to be a part of this challenge, is there any form of incentive for them, or is it just the fact that their products or whatever it is they're coming up with gets a national platform? What really is obtainable by those pitching ideas?
So there is, like was mentioned before, there is a technical review committee that will be looking at the different proposals. Both local and international reviewers are in that pool. These are people who are innovators, who have also broken the frontiers in their different countries and in their different areas. So they have an eye for innovation. So after that, there's going to be the award of 60 million naira for each winning proposal. And they're supposed to carry out that work for 12 to 15 months. After which, there's going to be another call to see among these 10 which 4 are the best scalable solutions. So the
60 million is
for each grantee in this first level. So we expect that this money is able to show us the potential of a seed innovation that can be scaled later on. So the benefit goes beyond the grantee. The benefit comes to Nigeria. So what we are doing is like we are catalyzing some thought process and some kind of...
So how do you intend to monitor? Once you give out that 60 million, how do you monitor to ensure that...
There's a robust monitoring and evaluation system.
Because I can just take 60 million and jackpot...
No. There is a robust monitoring and evaluation system. We have a governing board, we have an advisory board, and in the advisory board, we have development partners, we have government. He is part of it. NISPRI, his organization is part. NIMA is part of it. Dalbag Advisory, Aliko Dangote Foundation, FHI 360, Alive and Thrive.
So when you get the money, you can't board the plane?
You cannot board the plane. Too many eyes are on you.
Money will be in the bank, so it's not in your pocket.
Yes, and it's going to be released in tranches.
Account.
Yes, with milestones. So once you achieve one milestone, the next tranche is released to you. So there's a robust monitoring and evaluation system.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the program and enlightening us about the Grand Challenges Nigeria project. We do sincerely appreciate Professor Salisu Abubakar, President, Nutrition Society of Nigeria. Many thanks for joining us, and we wish you all the best. Professor Folake Samuel, Program Director and Technical Lead, Grand Challenges Nigeria project. It was a pleasure to have you. Professor Latif Sani, Executive Director and CEO, Nigerian Stored Products Research Institute. Thank you so much for the reminder about some of the things that we could use, within us without having to go for processed food. Thank you. So that's it on Good Morning Nigeria this Tuesday. Thank you so much for watching. Remain tuned to the NTA. I'm Henry John.
And I'm Victor. I will see you again tomorrow.